Hey everybody, welcome back to Success Secrets Revealed, and we have a great episode for you today with both Brad Powell and another gentleman coming on after him, second episode. We're going to try to do 2 or 3 in the summer instead of 5. I figure people want to get out and about and hit the beach opposed to be sitting here watching lives, right? Although these are all recorded. I want to tell you, Brad Powell's going to come on and he's going to talk to us about how to engage more people, how to feel more comfortable doing Facebook Lives, and how to engage and grow your business doing Facebook Lives. First, I want to talk to you about how this show, Success Secrets Revealed, got started. The reason behind this show was I have a radio show called Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming. And that show was kind of put on hold because they're running reruns during COVID. They're not manning the station. I had to pivot because I wanted to make sure I was giving everybody, well, that information from those 3.5 years, running those reruns was fine. It's all good information, but there's a lot going on and the world has changed a lot in the world of COVID. So I wanted to pivot and make sure that people were getting current, up-to-date information and still get some great experts. So I created this show, Success Secrets Revealed. I am going to take the audio out, send it off so it will be heard on the radio station. It might be a month or 2 from now, whenever they get it into the rotation. All guests come on this show. They don't get paid. They don't pay to come on this show. This is purely a gift. Some might give you a free gift or something at the end. But other than that, it's totally free for everybody and myself included. I do have one sponsor, which makes this all possible, and that's my company, RCS Online Solutions. We basically help business owners and entrepreneurs get in front of their ideal customers and clients. Let's be honest, you can have the best websites, the best videos, the best content, the best service, the best prices. If people can't find you when they're searching for your problem solutions and services that you provide, then you're losing business greatly. I mean, if they Google your company's name or your name and you come up, I'm here to tell you, so what? I mean, there's probably very few with those names, right? No one's searching you that way unless they already know you and they forgot your phone number. What they're searching for is a solution to their problem, and it's the solution that you need to come up on the first page for, okay? So enough of that. Now let's talk about Brad Powell. Brad Powell teaches entrepreneurs how easy it is to create engaging video campaigns with just a smartphone and a good storytelling. Brad inspires entrepreneurs to find everyday moments that make great marketing, and he's dedicated to helping small businesses get over the limiting beliefs that video marketing is too daunting and time consuming. So help me welcome Brad Powell.
Hey. All right, so glad to be here.
Thank you. I got to get one of those clap tracks. You know what
Yay!
I mean? All right, so talk to us, Brad. I just read your bio, and I've known you for a couple of years now. Let me take off these glasses. I only need them when I read. And I'll tell you, I read a couple of people's bios, right? And I butchered them because I couldn't see all the words. So I figured, I had to swallow a little bit of pride, put on my glasses and read them. So tell us about yourself, what you do, how you provide. I know you're from the Boston area. Yeah, I've known you, I don't know, feels like 4, 5, 6 years now. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm a Massachusetts native, as it turns out. And although my family is originally from Canada, so shout out to anybody who is Eastern Canada, they're all from Nova Scotia. But I've been living in Massachusetts most of my life. I moved to the West Coast several years ago after I got out of school, and then came back to the Boston area around the year 2000. So I've been right here in this area working for the last 20 years. And I got started doing video, actually doing music video. And I was really interested in artists who were from all around the world. And I would literally go chasing after them in different parts of the world. I would go to an event where all these different artists from all over the place would gather and showcase themselves for 3 or 4 days in front of the music industry. And what I learned very quickly was that none of them, even though they were super famous from where they were from, they had 2 things missing. One was that they were completely unknown here in North America, and they had no video. So I literally would show up with my video camera on my shoulder and start talking to them or talking to their manager and saying, hey, how would you like me to shoot some live video when you're performing? And then I can interview you backstage. And then I can take this material and I can share it with my media partners who are in North America. And I would just start listing, the shows that they could get on as a result of letting me do some video making of them, of their performance. And as this grew over time, I started partnering with more and more media companies, and I would be licensing this material that I was creating, that I was producing, to these media companies. And the cool thing that happened was about 5 years into this project, National Geographic woke up one day and they said, maybe we should do something with music. And they'd never done any music programming at all before. And when they made this decision, the person who was running their digital media department started reaching out to all the different media companies that I was already partnered with. And they all said, well, there's this guy named Brad, and he has this catalog of music video that no one else has, of all these artists that no one has ever done any video for. You should really go talk with him. And so right out of the blue one day, I got a call from National Geographic, and they literally said, look, we've heard about your catalog. We'd like you to come to Washington, D.C. We want to basically buy you out and then put you in charge of this project. And so I ended up working with them for about 5 to 6 years. And that is really how I cut my teeth on making video. And truthfully, what I was doing even back then was helping to connect entrepreneurs who were from all over, anywhere, and wanting to connect them to the audience that would literally fall in love with them using video and using the internet. And this is basically the same job that I do today, although I'm doing it for entrepreneurs who are not musicians. And in the meantime, like in this last period of time, video making has become really accessible and really inexpensive for anyone. I mean, we all have a phone in our pocket. We can all connect to the internet. And with the advent of, especially of live video, being able to go live on platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all these, even on Twitter, you can all go live on all these places. All of us have the ability to basically be producing our own show, our own broadcast studio, right from the comfort of our home and right with our own phone or whatever, or a laptop like you and I are doing right now. And it's this huge, huge opportunity for anyone who's in business to be reaching your target audience in a very authentic and very personal way. And this is the mission I'm on, is to help people do this and help them do it really well.
I love it. And how long ago was that with National Geographic?
I started with them in, I believe it was 2005.
Wow.
And so we worked together until about the end of 2010. And that was during the time of that particular recession. They just pulled the plug. I mean, the music industry was really changing during that period, and they just pulled the plug on the whole project, and it just ended. And so I thought, well, all right, now I can do this for just about anyone.
Yeah, nice. But the reason I asked that is because they were way ahead of the curve.
They were.
Video is massive. I mean, in the next like 18 months or less, Facebook as well as Google and the biggest search engines out there have gone on record as saying that when you type in a search for something, you're going, like 80% of your search results are going to be videos. People aren't going to want to sit there and read blogs anymore if you can give it to them. And the type of videos, I mean, I have my clients, I'm in digital marketing, and I tell them all to do videos, but you can have a long explanation video, but I like, if somebody has like 10 tips, do 10 tips, 10. Right. Tip 1, you're opening. Hi, I'm going to give you 10 tips of how to grow your market, how to grow your Instagram by doing lives, or Facebook by doing Facebook lives. Here is tip 1, and then close it out. The opening and closing would be the same. In the middle would be tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. So now you have 10 videos. You take them 10 videos, you go to rev.com or somebody, you download, you just get them transcribed. So now you have the blog, you have the video and the blog. Oh, you can make so much content. And I love how you said it. It's so easy. You can do it right off your phone.
Yeah, it's you made a really good point in terms of making videos that are basically answering the questions that your customers would have about you and your business, or the problem that they're trying to solve. You know, all these organizations that have relatively long sales cycles, and they have sales teams that are basically having to answer the same questions over and over again. If you start adding video into that sales cycle, you can create, just like what you're saying, a set of videos, like maybe the top 7 most common questions that your sales team is getting.
Yep.
And then when they are getting a new lead coming into their realm, they can basically, before they get on the call, can send them that video. Yep. And ask them, say, hey, you know, so that we don't waste a lot of time when we're talking, I really want to, you know, make sure that your time is really well spent. Would you commit to watching this video that I'm sending you, so that you're getting, you know, the questions answered that you really want? And that when we do get to talk, I'll be sure to be able to, you know, get to all the things that you really need to be talking about.
I love it.
In this way, when they show up, they're educated, they're clear, and the salespeople are not having to go over the same material that they would normally go after. They're going to be able to take that phone call to the next step.
Yeah, I love it, because you're doing several things by doing that with the frequently asked questions or something like that. You're pre-qualifying the people, because by the time they get past those questions and answers, by the time they get to you, they're already on board. It's just, you know, how do we get going, right? Because so you're pre-qualifying them, but you're also saving your sales teams a ton of time that they can be, you know, talking with other prospects who have also been pre-qualified.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it just really enhances the whole process of sales. And also, like, if you look on Google, if you Google something, some of the single things you'll see that pop up the most will be, you know, like just one word, why do sneakers have rubber, right? So why why do sneakers have rubber soles, right? I'll bet you that's a question. We should Google it right now, right? Why do sneakers have rubber soles, right? But then that will be one, and then it'll be a little click down, and then will be the answer. And then it will be what type of sneaker, what type of rubber sole, how did they determine it? You know what I mean? So there'll be like 10, 15 questions right there. So, and oftentimes that's a great way for you to get seen as an expert, because you're answering those questions, and then naturally they're going to start to seek you out because you answered their questions, and subliminally 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you know, they've seen you. Chances are that, you know, when it comes time to actually make that purchase or dive a little bit deeper, they're going to call you. But we both know that the value of these videos is priceless, but there is a lot of apprehension. People are nervous. What do I say? How do I say it? What do I look like? How's the lighting behind me? You know what I mean? Everything has to be picture. And what happens is they don't ever get it done. So tell us, how do you help people get over the fear of just getting it done?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it's really an issue of perfectionism. People are really wanting to do it right. They're really wanting to look professional. And I will say that right now, like especially in this moment when pretty much all across the country, all across the world, everything is shut down. You can't travel. You're not going to trade shows. You're not going to conferences. All of the speakers are not speaking on stages. None of the authors can do their book tours. You know, all this usual way of networking and doing in-person meetings to help grow our businesses, all of that stuff is on hold for the foreseeable future, which is where, you know, if it wasn't valuable before, doing video is like super valuable now, especially this live element of video where you're actually doing something quite genuine. So the thing is that if you take the time and you do something like you hire a video coach so that you get it right, and you get yourself up, set up in a home studio or your office studio so that it looks really professional, you will stand out because everyone is getting on Zoom calls right now. And I'll tell you, most of them, and this includes even media people. I mean, you're seeing this, like if you watch The Tonight Show or you see newscasters, a lot of them and a lot of the pundits who are getting on, you know, they're set up all of a sudden like they're not in their studio and they're having to do this from home. And many of them are really flailing in terms of they don't look that great and they don't sound that great. So if you take the time and you get the input on how to do this properly, you can look and sound really professional, and you absolutely will stand out from everyone else who is trying and kind of flailing in this medium. You know, so for example, just the basic setup here. I mean, I'm using a professional camera. I have a Sony digital mirrorless camera. It's actually, I've been experimenting with this particular one that I'm using today because it is the least expensive Sony, in fact, of any camera I found, this is probably the least expensive camera you can get that still allows you to live stream, that has the clean HDMI signal that you can plug into your laptop. And on this camera, I have a fast lens, which gives me that selective focus, the shallow depth of field, so that my face here is in focus, but my background is slightly blurred. So this looks like, you know, a professional setup. And I've got lighting where there, I can't show it to you, but right here is my light. And right over here is this giant window that's letting in natural light. And so I'm kind of bathed in this very soft, diffuse light. And right out of the screen right over here, I have my microphone, which is giving me better than average audio. So all of this, none of this is particularly expensive. I mean, this entire setup probably cost me less than $500 to create. And given that I already own my laptop. And so for a very low amount of money, I mean, people think that they have to spend, and if you hired a professional videographer, you would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to be producing video on a regular basis. But for just a few $100s, any business person can set themselves up at home and start producing very quality video like this, right from your home, right from your home office, or whatever particular studio setup that you want to create for yourself.
I love it. And that's so true. Some people get, you know, paralyzed by just overthinking it. And right now I'm just using my laptop. My mic's in view right now, but I did bring in a mic. Maybe I should push it out of view to be a little more professional looking. There we go. Hopefully I don't lose the audio. But no, I mean, yeah, I think it's excellent. And once they get online, now's the time to be doing your marketing. Because once we open up officially, we've already started at different levels, right? But once we really open up, you know, you have a lot of people. I mean, I own an online marketing company. I have literally 79 active clients. But I can't tell you how many of them pause to the point of nothing. I mean, I actually had a couple that I was hosting their websites actually ask me to unpublish their websites, and I'm like, dude, why would you do that, right? and they're like, because I don't know if it's ever coming back, and you know, I don't want to pay any monthly fees, and the fee was like $50. I'm like, dude, this is your entire business. What are you talking about?
Right.
And how can you be? It just happened 10 days ago. How can $50 be an issue for you, right? But the fear got people so much that they just stopped. So now if you're doing it, or you have been doing it, or you start doing it now, hire a good coach, get the right equipment. You know, one client is going to pay for all of that, right? So, but now it's going to start to put you ahead. You're starting to build your base because now you're getting your videos out there. They're getting indexed, and then the search engines are going to start to be able to pull you up when the questions are coming out, when people are asking questions. So I love it, man. People should not have stopped at all. Maybe slow down a bit, right? But
I'm not sure. My feeling at the moment is that during this particular time, especially, if you show up for the people who you want to serve, and you show up with value, and you actually are helping them out when you show up for them in this way, like you're actually giving information, you're reaching out to them, you are asking them questions, and most importantly, if you are listening to their concerns and you make them feel like they're being heard and they're being understood by you, you're the one that they're going to remember.
I'm redoing my office as we speak.
I love it.
I'm redoing. I got to get my professionalism here.
That's so great.
Yeah, but you can actually buy a service that will give you a background. This service right here, right? I can just put green screen. I got a green screen right over there. I love videos. I'm a big fan. I love everything you do. I have green screen. I have my bright light right here that's shining on me, the windows right here. But I could put a blue or a green screen behind me and then have any type of picture I want. But I like my 10X here and this right here. If you look at it, it's definitely business, but it's kind of, techie. Because you're talking about ads and bridges and phase, you know what I mean? So, and that's what a funnel does, and that's what you need. At the end of the day, you can have great videos, and I know you help people produce great videos, but if they just throw them up on their website or up on social media, ain't nobody gonna see them, right? They've got to get them out on the search engines because Facebook, just like any other business, is a business now, right? So their reach, if you're not boosting or posting your ads, you know what I mean, or paying for stuff, your reach is just going to be crippled. So that's why I tell people 89 cents of every dollar is spent online. And that's, every lotion, potion, pair of sneakers, course, book, everything is spent on the search engines, through the search engines. 11 cents of every dollar is spent through social media. And of that 11% that's spent through social media, the vast majority of it is like somebody who has a massive group following, somebody who's doing Facebook ads with retargeting and is throwing, look at Grant Cardone and them. They're doing like $1 million a month, right? And or just on Facebook ads, never mind the other platforms. So, I mean, how do you compete? How do you get in there if you're in any type of industry like them? So, but I would tell people, focus on the search engines. Take what you have on the search engines, cut and paste it, and put it over on social media. Still do social media, but at the end of the day, if you're not getting in front of your people, if they don't know you, they can't flow you.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The strategy that I have come on recently, which is a video strategy, which does a number of things. What I see right now with a lot of people as they approach content marketing and social media marketing is that a lot of them are spending a lot of time on multiple platforms, and they really, they get behind this sort of gerbil wheel where they're really spinning their wheels, and they're going, oh, I got to be on Instagram, and I also have to be on YouTube, and then I got to be on Twitter, and they're doing all this posting all over the place. A lot of it is fairly random. There's not a really good strategy behind it. And it's very, very time consuming. And the way, they're not necessarily seeing much of a result coming back to them because there's not a big strategy and they don't really know which metrics to measure in terms of like, well, what is this doing for my business?
Yeah, it's kind of spray and pray the way they're doing it.
Exactly. So this again, like the reason that I like live video is because if you create a consistent strategy, and all I mean is like, if you decide to go live one time per week, and you can set it up however you want. This could be, I'm going to give a major piece of content once a week, every Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And you can either call it a masterclass, or you could call it your weekly show, or whatever formal label that you want to put on this particular piece of content. You want to train your audience and your customers and your clients that this is something that you're doing for them every week at the same time. And then all you do is you go live, and you could go live like we're doing. The easiest way to get started is to find some other interesting people who are in a parallel lane to your business and bring them on, and the two of you can talk. And the advantage there is that when you go on with a guest, the guest is going to be streaming onto their page and onto their audience, so that every week you're getting in front of the people who are the audience of your guest. And, you know, like, for instance, today, before we went live, I shared this stream to my pages on Facebook. And so,
hi, Brad's friends and followers. Hi, Brad's friends and followers. I probably met most of you because I'm from Boston too. I miss all the events that other people used to put on. I can't wait to get back to it.
Right. So anyway, this is one way that you can be growing your audience. And then the cool thing is that all it takes to do this, there's no editing, there's no post-production. You go live, and when you're finished after 20 minutes, half an hour, however long you decide to go live for, you're done. And then you can take the recording, that same live recording, and you can hand it off to a virtual assistant.
Yep.
And they can repurpose it to all of those platforms that you want to be on. So you can be on Twitter, you can be on Instagram, you can be on LinkedIn, you can be on YouTube, you can grow your YouTube channel, you can embed it into your website as a blog post, you can transcribe it, you can send it out to your email list, so that with one piece of content that you do once per week that only takes you 20 minutes to half an hour to create, you can have multiple short clips that are created by your virtual assistants or your team. And you can be posting on all those different platforms, scheduled in advance, daily.
Yep, I love it.
And create this online presence that is regular, that's on point, and is always linking back to the main piece of content. So people see a little short clip that was a teaser from the episode that you did, and there's a link that goes to my blog, and you can watch the full episode.
Exactly, and I love how you just said that, because it goes to your blog, it goes back to your website. Everything goes back to your website. You want to give them a teaser, a little clip, but for the rest of it, come back to your website. You want them on your website. And I do, that's one of the things I do. I love with this right here. This here, I will take, it will be up on, I'll be, probably before 1 o'clock today. It'll be up on YouTube. It'll be on up on between LinkedIn and you know, Reddit and Tumblr and Pinterest, and you know, it'll be all over the place. And part of the reason is because in your bio are your links. In my bio, if you notice, the bio that I included was long, all my links. So every one of them now you're getting backlinks, but you're also posting on all these, this one video, and then I take out the audio and that goes to the radio station to get put out. But then I use Tunes to Tube. I upload it on as a separate thing to YouTube, and then I share it on all the same platforms, right? Then I push it out on podcasts. I got like 500 videos or audios that I'm now just going to start making podcasts and pushing them all out, and all those. But the important thing is to make sure that you're doing your descriptions, and in your descriptions you're using like you know, a live video, because we're here helping to promote Brad, you know, Facebook live video, how to attract and can convert clients using live video. You want to make sure in there, you know, today's special guest is Brad Powell, who teaches people how to attract, convert, and retain clients through you know, Facebook Live or whatever it is. You want those in there, because as people are searching, you now start to come up in the feeds. This is, I mean, you know, it's not as hard as people think to really get ranked. And I love how you said that. Bring them back to your website, but use this one piece multiple times. Right.
Yeah, this is exactly what I teach my clients. And in fact, I've been walking my own talk. I've just launched my own show, which is I'm calling Face the Camera. So if you go to facethecameralive.com, you can start seeing the episodes of that production. And it's the same kind of thing where I'm alternating between bringing on interesting guests, and the format that I'm using is that I'm finding people, some of them are professional, but many of them are just ordinary business folks who are using video in a really creative way. And we actually play little clips from videos that they made and then kind of break down what did they do and what was the cool thing that happened, and what was the result they got from making a particular video and using a particular strategy. to grow their business. And this is a really cool new path that I'm on right now, where I'm really, this medium is relatively new. And even though I've been immersed in it and been, practicing and studying video for many years now, I'm really interested in finding from all kinds of people, like, well, what are you doing? Where have you pushed the envelope with, this medium? And how are you using this? Like, how are you doing it on LinkedIn? That's different than what you do over on YouTube, and all these kinds of questions. So this is something that I'm really, really interested and excited to be exploring more and more.
I love it. Brad, I want you, we got about 5 minutes left. I want to, you have an offer, you have some information here for people at the bottom of the screen. I want people to see that now. And I want you to take 3 to 5 minutes and you just tell anybody whatever it is you want to tell them. Give your contact information out verbally, just in case somebody can't read or doesn't look down, okay?
Sure. Well, yeah, just to help people out, if you're just getting started and you're just thinking about doing video now and you haven't actually set yourself up, or if you're looking for, like, what is some of the coolest stuff that I can use to set up my home studio, I've created something I call the Awesome Video Toolkit, which is basically a video training showing some of the basic accessories that you can use to set yourself up in your home studio. And if you go to my website, awesomevideomakers.com, right there on the homepage, you can get this. It's a free guide. And so there's a video that will show you a live example of how I've set myself up, as well as a great long list of here's all these different accessories and things that you can use to look really professional and looking really good when you're doing your videos from your home studio. And this is the kind of thing, like, what I've noticed is that people, like, the higher you up are in your organization, the less likely you are to be willing to get on video. I've seen guys who were, like, they're willing to go to Tony Robbins and walk on coals, but they're not willing to get in front of the camera. They're worried that I'm going to say something and it's going to look foolish and it's going to live on the internet forever.
Yes, but if I burn my feet, I'll heal, right?
Right, that's right.
That's excellent. Brad, I've known you for a long time. I've seen you work. I know it's great work. I bought your kit that you had up on Amazon. I assume it's the same kit. It may have been upgraded at some point. I use it when I am out and about. I bring it with me when I'm out and about doing lives instead of, like, at home. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, and I've used your stuff with success. So I highly recommend that people seek you out for this type stuff. And you've given your contact information?
Yeah, just you can find me on my website. You can find me on all the social media platforms under the Brad Powell Video. So check me out on Instagram, check me out on LinkedIn. Love to connect with you on LinkedIn. And I'm doing a lot of cool stuff over there. So if you really want to see some of the ways that I'm reaching out in a new way, I'm going whole hog on LinkedIn video. And I highly recommend anyone who hasn't been to LinkedIn for a while, check it out, because there's a huge opportunity for doing video on that platform right now.
Yeah, now they do video there, right? But are they doing lives on there now? Because you have to get approved to do, like, lives externally, right? But you can go on and do a live, but it's really like a recording, and then you hit the live button, right? And then it's it as a live.
There is live video on LinkedIn, and you can stream live, like using this tool that we're using now. You can stream live onto LinkedIn, but you have to be approved. So I have it. I was lucky enough to get in, like, right at the beginning. They will be rolling that out to just about everyone at some point in the future. I just don't know when they're going to do it. But yep, you can upload a video up to 10 minutes simply by, recording into your phone using the LinkedIn app. And then as soon as you're done, uploading that directly. So it's almost live.
It is, yeah. But what I also recommend is when you do that, right, I believe when you go to the point where you can click it, upload, you can also download it. So Yeah, because you want to download it, because then you can download it, send it off to your VA, or keep it yourself, and then just post it right there on your phone. Bang, send it off to Instagram. Bang, send it off, or a link to Instagram, whatever it is, or off to Facebook. And don't, there are some other platforms. If you go to YouTube and you click on like edit and you go to share something, you'll see there's like 7 different places you can just click on, and you wouldn't even really think of them. And you can just click on, and then they will submit your video in these locations. And imagine if you're not thinking about it, other people aren't either. But these are more places that your video will be seen, especially those descriptions. People, I'm telling you, those are vitally important for your SEO, is what you put in those descriptions, how you word it, where you put what in what order. Make sure you put in links to your websites or to your online courses if that's what you're offering, because it's you want quality backlinks, but backlinks are still massively important as long as they're designed to have a financial purpose. You're not hiring some company in India to just put you in a bunch of directories, you know what I mean? So you want, they change the type of video, they change the type of backlinks that they give credit to, but make no mistake about it, it's one of the most, it's definitely in the top 3, because it just shows that people liking and sharing, they find whatever you're offering has enough value that they're sharing it, and that's how backlinks are generally created. So keep that in mind. Again, Brad, this has been amazing. I love what you're doing. I tell my clients basically they need to create the videos. What I need to do is people who are nervous about doing it, just send them to you to get it done, because I know I can get anybody ranked. You give me a video, I'll get you ranked on the first page of Google, and that can be your funnel. That can be the top end of whatever it is, to your course, to your program, to your book. They see it, you see the video, then you click below, or in your descriptions will be a link for it. So I love when people send videos, and I love when I don't have to do them. Just send me the material and let me promote it for you. Just my life gets so much easier with less. So anything else in closing?
Well, yeah, I would just say, make a lot of video, and don't just make a video, put on a really good show.
Okay, talk about that a little bit. Be lively, be entertaining.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that you want to bring good energy to all of this. So, one of the things, like, especially with live video, what I see people doing when they go live is that they click the live button, and you see them kind of frowning and looking, off camera, and they're messing around with something on their computer. And this long period goes by where they're trying to figure out, is this working?
Am I live?
Am I really live? And they won't believe it. And so you really want to show up. First of all, before you hit the record button, start smiling. And then when you hit the record button, you're coming off this smile. And as soon as you hit that button, I always count down just to give a little bit of buffer time. So I'm going 3, 2, 1, and we're live. And then I just go boom, and welcome, and I'm here, and I'm talking about this, and I'm doing this thing, and I'm excited about that. And this is the energy that I bring when I show up. And if you don't do this, people are, this is the very beginning of your video is the most critical time.
Otherwise, they're gone.
If you don't bring good high energy at that start, and you don't tell them why they should watch, and why does it matter to them, and what you're going to do, they'll skip off and they won't go. So if you're not, all these things are really important, especially right at the start. And it's one thing to get people to the video that you're creating. Getting them there, that's one job. But getting them all the way to the end, that's another job. And this is where, when you're making your video, you want to be engaging, and you want to bring people all the way along, so that once they're there, they get hooked, and they get intrigued, and they want to know the answer to the question that you're asking, and they stay with you all the way through.
Yep, and that's why, if you noticed on mine, when I open up the show, I tell you about the show, then I tell you about the guest who's going to tell us about this. But first, let me tell you about how the show became created, then the then our sponsor, and then I'll bring the guest. So I'm walking them through it, but actually listening to you say it, I'm going to try and be even a little more enticing on it, okay? So thank you. Everybody, it's been a great episode. Everybody, you've been listening to Brad Powell. He's from the awesomevideomakers.com. You got to check him out. Video is super important, and how you do the video. You just gave a great point about it's not just getting people to the video. That's super important. But once they're at that video, how do you keep them engaged and then take the action you want them to take at the end? That's super important. And it's, it's something you learn. It's like anything else in life. All right. I want to let you know that I personally have used Brad's services and I've benefited from his services. So I recommend him personally. So if you don't know Brad Powell, check him out. Awesome Video Makers. His information is scrolling below. And good luck, good video making. And once you create your videos, if you want to get ranked, call me. I'll get you ranked, and I guarantee I'll get you ranked before you pay me. Because at the end of the day, you can have the best video, you can have the best engagement in the world, but if you can't get people to see it to begin with, to find it, then you know what I mean. It kind of like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand. Anyhow, I hope you guys all have a great day. Stay cool. We got a little bit of a heat wave going on here. Bye for now.